Buddy. If you just watched 12/7, December 7th, 2024, it is still December 13th, 2024, and I'm doing a catch up video for December 8th, 2024. So, uh, December 8th, didn't really have any like daily thoughts. It was kind of like a get up and go kind of morning. So, we got up, and then well, I got up. My wife and my friend Sam had been up all night because they really clicked. Like they've been really cool. I really enjoy their relationship. They're really like fun with each other, and they just were enjoying deep conversation. They went on a walk together. It sounded super fun, but I was so tired and was not gonna be awake for any of that. Right. So yeah. So we woke up in the morning. We had something we had to go do. I know we went to get coffee. That's what it was. My wife wanted coffee, and I went and got some Albertsons donuts, and then came home. We just sat around and chatted for a little while. Sam had his U-Haul truck. He was getting ready to go. He had to go see some friends in Payette or Pocatello, whichever it was. And so we were talking about that, talking about being safe, talking about when he could sleep, yada yada. Uh, Said our final goodbyes, took a photo. That was super nice. Um, and then right after that, my wife went upstairs and passed out because she'd been up all night talking with Sam and watching movies and stuff. So she went to bed, and then I played some video games, and then I had a Venture meeting at 3, so I went over to Sherry's house, and then I don't know why my focus is. This camera's so weird. So I went over to Sherry's house, and then she basically had this packet for us to fill out, and it was essentially just like talking about your excitement levels, your commitment levels, what your goals, what do you want to do, how has your production been the last few months, where are you coming from, where are you going, like Cotton Eye Joe questions, right? Who did you come from? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Cotton Eye Joe, whatever, right? So yeah, so I'm there for about 35 minutes, and about 3:25, Sayeli, our upline adventure, I learned he gets on a video call and he's talking with us and he's like, Kyle, like you're the only one who showed up. Like it's good to have you, man. That shows me a lot. I really want to like, get you trained really well. And I was like, cool, man. Yeah, that sounds great. And then Sarah was also there. Sarah Cruikshank. She's not licensed yet, but she was like, I'm also here. I'm also here. And her I'm sure she'll see this in the future, but her behavior is really strange. Like, that's a really strange thing to do. Because I feel like if it was, they called out Sarah that was there, and it was like, oh, yeah, okay, Sarah, yeah, you're awesome. You're going to be a great agent. You're going to be awesome. I just been sitting there filling my packet. I guess in my mind, I'm comfortable enough as a person to just kind of sit there and be like, yeah, let someone else be recognized. And even when I was being recognized, I'm not sitting there going, yeah, yeah, I am. I was sitting there just going, yeah, man, thanks. Yeah, appreciate it. Like, cool. I love the training. I want it. Like, that's what I'm looking for. And like, but it was very much like a Me Too kind of thing, and I was kind of like, like I'm not gonna say anything. That's like weird. Like that's strange to me, just because I'm comfortable enough to let someone else be recognized. That's neither here nor there, and it's not a huge issue or anything like that. I don't really care. It was just an observation. And so he talks for like 10 minutes. I finish filling out my packet. And it's kind of strange, like seeing a lot of stuff that I don't know, but it's just questions I've never been asked and things I've never been coached on. So I'm really excited for it. Really makes me think like, oh, this is like a legit opportunity. Like actually people who know what they're doing and not an MLM company. Anyways, yeah, so there for about 35 minutes, and then I go to Christmas. So Christmas is at my grandma's house this year on the 8th. So I go there. It starts at 4. I pull up. Everyone's basically already there, right? And so she's got food out, and she's doing baked potato bar. For those of you who don't know me, I love baked potatoes. Those are my thing. So I grab my plate, I sit down, and Kinley, the guy who've been talking about the plumbing job, sits down with me, and we were sitting there shooting the shit, really, sitting there talking. My uncle Jim came over. We had a whole chat about Kinley's high school career. I talked with Jim about him and my aunt Christie's. It's called conflict management in marriage, and they've been like helping couples through conflict management. And I was like, dude, that's something that super, like interests me super deeply because Anne and I have had to figure out a lot of our conflict management and figure out like what is her trigger, what are my trigger, like what are things that I can say that'll trigger her, what are things that she can say that'll make me just go, what are you talking about? Like, that's not cool. And so we've kind of had that whole back and forth, and so it's really interesting to hear his thoughts on it and hear about his marriage with my aunt and how they've worked through a lot of their problems. And then I actually got to see some of their conflict management later, but I'll get into that in a sec. So we get to hear about Kinley's high school experience, and then that baked potato was so good. My one of my other aunts had made chili, like homemade chili was the best, dude. And so we ate and everything, and then they want us to do like a white elephant circle. So we all get in a big old circle. There's like 30 of us in a circle in the living room, like ridiculous amount of people. And so we all break into groups of like 6 or 8 or something. I think it's 8, yeah. We would break into groups of 8, and then we do this like telephone Pictionary type thing. It was actually kind of fun. But if I hadn't heard about Kinley's high school experience, I would have been sitting there through that game just like, you can't draw. Like it was really funny. But overall, it was actually like a really interesting game, and it was kind of fun to hear and see what everyone was like doing, because the one I got was Snow Angel, so easy, and then someone got one and it was like stuff I've never heard of, and it was like the Poppy and the Tinkerbell or something. I was like, what? Like, how does that have to do with Christmas? But anyways, so we play that game, and then we do the white elephant right after. And so the white elephant gift, we had sprinkled in some of my grandfather's gifts into the white elephant. And so my youngest of the older brothers, so he's the brother right above me in age, his girlfriend pulls out a gift, and it's like, oh man, lottery tickets and a nice shirt. And she like puts on the shirt, it's like a big old flannel, and Papa just goes, I have one just like that. Like, first item, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna go grab mine and we can compare. And we're all just like, oh, Papa. So when we start pulling Papa's items, he's just like, that's mine. That one's mine. Those socks are mine. I'm like, Papa, not everything is yours. Like, you can't just say everything's yours. But it was his items. It was really funny. Got a pair of binoculars. It was really entertaining. And then, so towards the end of the White Elephant, uh, my aunt Christy's the one like orchestrating everything, telling everyone, getting all their numbers. So Uncle Jim had never gotten his number called. He never got a present. So he goes, "Hey Christy." She doesn't answer, and he goes, "Hey Christy," and we're all kind of just yapping. So she's not like hearing him, right? And she's like playing with kids. And he goes, "Hey Christy." So we like call Christy, and we're like, "Hey, Jim's trying to get your attention." And he goes, "How many gifts are left?" And she goes, "Zero, none." And he was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." Like, yeah. And so my cousins are sitting next to him, and they're like, not his kids, but my cousins, the other set of cousins, they're like, no, Christy, like we know there's presents left, and so we like keep trying to get Christy's attention, keep trying to get Christy, and I'm sitting there, and Jim, after being like, just goes right back into it, and he's just like laughing and smiling, just having a good time, like, just like, yeah, it's like, cause realistically, it's not that important, but any lesser man would have had a deeply emotional reaction to it, like angry, upset, like, grr, like my wife dismissed me basically. And so we get Christy's attention. They're like, hey, Christy, like, hey, Jim hasn't got a gift yet. And so she looks over and she goes, you can get one? And he was like, no. And she goes, okay, there's 2 left. And he goes, I thought you said there wasn't any left. And she was like, I, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, that was my bad. Like, I'm getting distracted. I'm sorry. And I thought that was a really mature thing to witness. Like, emotional maturity kind of moment where, yeah, she had a dismissive moment of him. He took it in stride and rolled with the punches and just kept having fun. And when other people went to bat for him and then he called out her mistake, she realized she was in the wrong and just apologized. And it wasn't a big old fight, and it wasn't like super tense or anything like that. They would like, it's Christmas. We're all having a good time. It's not that important. It's a $10 white elephant gift. It's not the end of Christmas. It's not anything to have a fight about. But I'm sitting there going, and like literally any lesser man would have thrown a hissy fit. And I thought it was a really, really, really cool thing to witness. I thought it was really impressive, Uncle Jim. If you ever watch this, I think that was really, really impressive. And right after that, my wife is texting me and she's like, "Hey, we're having Yvette's birthday party. Come over to Summer's house." So I like right after the white elephant, I dip out and go to Summer's house, and all the kids are there. Daniel's kids, and which is my in-laws' kids, so my nieces and nephews, and Yvette's having her birthday, and they're all covered in cake all over their face, and I have some ice cream there, and we're like watching a movie. So it was a pretty chill time, and it was just good to see the kids. And then my wife stays till 9 or so, and we dip out, and I'm pretty sure we just went right to bed. I was so tired after after sleeping and then being up all day. I was tired again, so yeah, went to bed. No, it was nice. It was a really, really, really solid Christmas day. I'm really thankful for my family, and yeah, I think the only thing I got was some like I don't want to say shitty gift card, but it's like a group gift card. Like you can go to like 6 different places, but the places I never go. So it's like Cheesecake Factory, Ulta Beauty, Buffalo Wild Wings, Panera, like all things I'd never go to. So I was like, whatever, like it's fine. But yeah, that was a solid Christmas, and that was a solid day. And I was still kind of riding the emotional high of the day before of just seeing all my friends and just being really, really genuinely happy. So yeah, I think that's the whole day. Good evening, everyone.